Welcome back to the Straw Hat Duo. My name's Charlie. In today's video, we will be going over chapter 1078 of One Piece. And in this chapter, we get to finally figure out who the traitor is. So to start out with, the cover page story is Germa 66's Emotionless Journey, Volume 33, Formation of Neomads. So Nomads. Caesar and Judge have joined forces. And you see a bunch of clones in the background celebrating. This chapter's name is Escape Limit. It starts out with Sentomaru talking with Stussy, and Stussy pretty much tells her, hey, listen, Kizaru is on the way. They're bringing a whole bunch of forces to Egghead because they're trying to do the same thing that they did to Ohara. Vegapunk has continued Ohara's research, gotten farther, and has a military might, which is why they're launching such a large-scale attack. Kizaru and Saturn are coming, the Gorosei. Sentomaru looks at all the citizens there, and he's like, you hear that? You know, you gotta escape. You gotta run. Get out of here, because otherwise you're all gonna die. So they all freak out and run. And then we cut over to Frankie's group, where Usopp and Loth are petrified. Frankie's only half petrified and yelling at the Boa Seraphim, S-Snake. He's like, hey, if you undo this now, we'll forgive you. Boa's just kind of looking off like, whatever. Paragathus comes running up, looks like he's crying. He's like, why are you doing this, S-Snake? On whose orders? And it seems like Paragathus is crushed by the Seraphim stepping on it. It causes such a massive explosion. I feel like something else happen. And then it shows the Seraphim just walking away, ignoring Frankie. We cut over to Robin's group at this point. Atlas is with them. Chopper, Atlas, and Robin are sitting there going through the lab. Atlas mentions that there's a laboratory that once used and is now sealed off. She doesn't think anybody would check there. Robin's like, okay, well, let's head that way. So Robin, Chopper, and Atlas are on the way to where Vegapunk seemingly is. What will happen when they see what's going on? We'll have to wait till probably next week for. Actually, we probably won't see that next week. That'll be that's probably not going to be a next week thing. That's probably going to be another 2 weeks. But they decide to head that way, and then we cut over to Nami's group, which is now Sanji, and Edison's there. Nami's, holding Edison, going, stay with me. Sanji's just standing there. The Jinbei Seraphim punches him right in the face, and Sanji just takes it like nothing happened. His eyebrow has twitched, so he's now the quote-unquote evil Sanji at this point, but he's still got his own mentality now. He's got like this evil-ish grin on his face, and he's like, don't you understand what the power of love means? Not accepting his Germa enhancement. Now we cut over to 4 building A, and we see Luffy and Zoro, out of breath, and Zoro's like, those flames aren't going away. What's going on? Luffy at this point notices and says, hey, forget about the flames. The guy with the hawk's eyes disappeared. Zoro's like, where'd he go? Lucci's like, it looks like he changed the order of killings because, he'll go off, kill the weaker ones, and save the more troublesome ones for later. He wants to eliminate the weak first. Lucci's like, in this case, they may be your friends. Taking them out first could shake the stronger ones. Mental game and all that good stuff. Zoro takes the initiative, says, leave it to me. I'll go after him. Luffy screams at Zoro, goes, Zoro, and then looks over at Kaku and says, hey, Usopp, go with him, please. He gets lost easily. Kaku agrees immediately, going, wait up. As an afterthought, he's running off. He's like, and who are you calling Usopp? A little gag back from Water 7 when they first met. Luffy then attacks the Seraphim with Hawk Gatlin, and Lucci yells at him, going, what are you doing? You're wasting stamina. We then have a small flashback. The narrator's like, this was the day before the famous Egghead incident. So something's going to happen here that's going to be big news. Big news for Big News Morgans. So we'll see what goes on with that. It could be a Gorosei gets killed. That would be huge. I mean, Gorosei's on the way there. Kizaru's on the way there. I don't see why a Gorosei wouldn't see Lucci working with Straw Hats, CP0 working with the Straw Hats as a traitorous thing. Therefore, they may go, okay, well, you're going to be executed. Lucci's going to be like, no, I'm not going to be executed. So Lucci would likely be the one to kill the Gorosei if that ends up being the case. Could also be one of the Seraphim or one of the Vegapunks. That's not out of the question. Anyways, that's just speculation. The narrator's like, but this story began 3 months ago. And we have a flashback to Marijois 3 months ago. Somebody's talking over a transponder snail, ratting Vegapunk out. Dr. Vegapunk's investigating the contents of the Void Sentry, all that good stuff. CP5 was dispatched first to investigate the matter, but no evidence was found. And then when the ship left Egghead, it disappeared. And that was followed by CP7 and CP8, and none of the ships returned to the government. And then we see another panel of just darkness, and it says, "I'm speaking from Egghead. Please contact me or connect me to the higher-ups," asking to speak to the Gorosei. Following the conversation between the 5 Elder Stars and a certain someone, it had become apparent that genius scientist had betrayed the government. The 5 Elders decided to assassinate Dr. Vegapunk soon thereafter. Cypher Pole 0 was received the mission and set sail, hence why they're there. However, 5 Elders anticipated retaliation from Vegapunk. One of them decided to set sail with Kizaru, being Saturn, with requested reinforcements from various branches of the Navy. So we see a bunch of different officers, pretty much. I don't remember all their names, and I'm not going to attempt to remember. Narrator says, war became looming on the horizon. So there could be a much bigger thing going on. Then Luffy showed up at Egghead. Akainu's there, freaking out. We see one of the Gorosei going, not again. But then the narrator continues on. The outcome of the incident on the following day would give the entire world an unthinkable shock. So he is foreshadowing big time, and what he's planning on doing, who knows, but Oda doesn't averagely write himself into a corner. So at this point, we cut back to Vegapunk, real Vegapunk, down in the basement, and we hear the steps coming towards him. Vegapunk's freaking out. He's like, "Was this all you're doing?" Talking to a shadowy figure. We get a close-up on Shaka's, body with the hole in the center of it, looking like blood coming out. It could be oil. Could have just been a robot, to be completely honest. But then we see a gun, and at that point, Vegapunk's like, "Why are you?" And it looks like he probably got hit or something, because he was angry in the first panel, and then he's like back against a wall looking like he's like dazed in the second panel. But at this point, we see the glutton Vegapunk. I don't remember what her name was. What was her name? So it's Vegapunk York that, betrayed Vegapunk. So then we finally get to see the traitor come up. And it's York standing right in front of Vegapunk. And she goes, "Hey, Stella, it's me. I'm going to be a celestial dragon." Vegapunk freaks out. He's like, "What are you talking about? You've been to Marijois before in the past. Why do you want to be such a scummy human being?" So it's good to know that Vegapunk has the same morals, even on his own, about the celestial dragons. York kind of laughs and goes, "You're sounding just like Shaka now." But guess what? He's dead now. Just the doubling down on, he got shot in the head. It was a very graphic scene. It's giving me, Orochi vibes. So I have a feeling Shaka's not dead yet, and maybe Shaka's in on this. That very well could be the case. Then York's like, it's really confusing, with so many Vegapunks around. This world would be better off with just one of us. So Vegapunk has a terrified look on this last page, and her desire has been revealed, says the narrator. I don't think there's a break next week, so we should be getting another chapter next week. I don't think we're going to get a conclusion to this next week, but Robin and Chopper may be showing up there soon. How they're going to deal with the scene, if it's still going on, if they're still there, will be interesting. So the other thing that could shock the world could be Vegapunk dying. That's always possible. That would eliminate the need to bring him on the ship, and would, allow Frankie and Robin to quote unquote carry out his research / legacy. So yeah, that pretty much does it for this chapter. Let me know what you think. And did you expect York to be the traitor? Because it kind of took me off guard. It makes sense that it was one of the Vegapunks. We kind of predicted that, but I didn't see it being York. I don't see why I didn't see that, but hey, let me know in the comments below, and see you in the next one. Bye.